We're 30 games into the season. The Cubs offense is still rolling. Let's talk about that and more. I'm Brad Savage. Cubs Ivy. Like, subscribe, share. Go Cubs. So the Cubs offense last night shows that for 30 games, it's still a dominant force to be reckoned with after beating the Pirates game one of the series 9-0. And I'm going to talk about the offense for most of this show, but touch base on the game last night a little bit. A couple things that stood out to me. Cubs win 9-0. The Pirates. Haney, I believe, was the pitcher for the Pirates, and he shut us out the first time through the lineup. It took 11 or 12th hitter to get on base. I believe he retired us 11 in a row, and then we just scored inning after inning. Home runs by Suzuki, Kelly, PCA, and Swanson. That's a nice name to be on that list, but the other three have been pretty consistent for us. Um, I think Shota Imanaga coming out, or one, showing us who he is and giving up zero through his 5 innings. He came out in the sixth inning with what supposedly was, what is it called? Fatigue and cramps in his legs. So glad they took him out when they did. Don't want to make that grow into any other issue, but full expectation is that he's going to be perfectly fine. Just needs to hydrate. Go to one of those, doctors that gives you the hydration and liquid IV. Sit there for an hour in the chair and be good to go. Hydrate up and be ready for the next start. I think it goes without saying that losing Justin Steele was a big hit, and losing Imanaga for any time at all would also be um, challenge for us, considering our depth of the starting rotation and trying to figure out that sixth spot with that rotation. But the other thing that really stood out to me, that I've been hearing a lot of talk on the last few days was Dansby Swanson. Swanson's our $177 million man. We paid him because he is an all-star. Dude's gone the entire length of the season without an error at shortstop. He is the rock of our defense, one of many, but up the middle, him and Nico Horner, just the last few games, they've shown some flashes and flair that make you sit there and go, yeah, this is why we pay these guys the big money. And well, Nico not yet, I guess, technically big wise, but this is why those guys are up the middle. They're both gold glove caliber players, and the what is it? The outs above replacement, the outs they make, where they make a diving play, a backwards flip, an awkward flip to second, still turn a double play. Dansby sliding on his knee, popping up and gunning someone out at first, the traditional Dansby Swanson move. It just shows that uh, they can make the difficult plays look routine and still not make mistakes doing it. So Dansby Swanson is worth every penny in my opinion. However, his batting has been subpar to say the least. And over the last year he struggled, and maybe it was because of the injury, not sure. That's still got to give some time because it is only 30 days in. But we are going to start. People are already starting questioning him, and there's no possible way you take, by the way, there's no possible way you take Dansby Swanson out of a lineup. Defense is too valuable. Move to the ninth spot, whatever. That's what I've been saying the last few days. And Craig Counsell finally did move him down on the lineup. Last night, the lineup looked like this: Hap, Tucker, Seiya, Carson Kelly in the fourth spot, Michael Busch, Horner, PCA, Swanson in the eight, and Birdie. Obviously, they moved Kelly up to the four, the lefty on the mound, and Kelly's been absolutely red hot. We'll mention him a little bit later in the show. And Swanson down to the eight spot, and which is fine, fine. Give him a, and I'm glad Craig Counsell is um, making these moves now. whether he has reasons for it besides Dansby Swanson's performance. Um, it's put him down. Put him. He's not producing right now, and he hasn't for 30 days. So he's hit a few home runs, which has been nice, but get him down there. Take any pressure off of hitting that 5 hole that he has been hitting in 5, 6, depending on the game. Um, and let the guys that are producing right now move up in the lineup, and maybe that scores a few extra runs. Not that our offense has needed it recently, but um, get him to have any pressure off of him, and just go start hitting some balls hard. Maybe he sees a couple better pitches down on the bottom. Who knows? But I love that move. And today against the Pirates, I kind of expect a similar lineup. My assumption is that Amaya is going to be in the lineup instead of Carson, and Carson was in the 4 hole. So my assumption today that would be Hap, Tucker, Seiya, Busch in the 4, Horner moving up to 5, PCA moving up to 6, and then Swanson in the 7, Amaya in the 8, and maybe they swap Amaya and Swanson and leave Swanson at 8, and then Bertie in the 9 hole. And third base, come on, just give Birdie the starting spot right now. I love Justin Turner and what he's done for baseball, but I feel like he's our spot player every once in a while, not a rotation guy at third or a rotation guy at first when there's a lefty pitcher. Glad last night we had a lefty pitcher against us in the Pirates, and it was good to see Turner not in there. He just, that's not what we pay him for. Not an everyday player. Not what we want him for. Let Michael Busch hit against the lefties, and let Birdie be the starter at third, and spot start. Uh, you know, Turner and the other guys, or use Turner as that ultimate professional DH hitter. Fine by me. Uh, our channel's been growing, and more and more videos being published. I'd love for you to like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel. Any kind of feedback helps us grow and helps us provide more content. I'm excited about today's because I'm a numbers guy, and we're going to go over a lot of numbers on offense and talk about the offense pretty much moving forward. First 30 games, let's go ahead and get into that. The first 30 games, Cubs record is 18-12. And guess what our 2024 record was? The first 20 games, 18-12. After the next 30 games last year in 2024, we ended up 60 games in. We were 29-31. Now, our schedule, I would say, is tougher this year based on the quality of the current teams, and everybody knew that going in. And then the next 30 games, it kind of tapers off a little bit based on, quality of team, record, etc., and how their programs are doing. So it's always possible to slide, but the Cubs just need to have that mentality and focus. I don't think this year's going to be like last year. I don't think that's the case. But just keep that mentality. It seems like everybody has a sense of urgency. Craig Counsell, listen to his interviews. His messaging is a little different than last year, and Cubs have made moves, bullpen moves, position player moves, and then even the lineup stuff from last night from Craig Counsell says we are going to play until we figure this out and this formula out, and if something's not working, we're going to make a change in a timely manner, not let it linger for a long time. So everybody knows that every win's important. And those first 30 games, 18-12, we'll take it as Cubs fans. There's a couple games we could have won. A couple games maybe we shouldn't have won. But 18-12 with the teams we played, fantastic. We'll take it. 29-31 after the next 30, unacceptable for this team. Not expecting it, but somewhere around the same winning percentage or better is what we all, I think, expect. Let's talk about offense. All right, let's talk about the offense. A big reason why. Offense is a big reason why we have had so much success. These games we're just outscoring people. Game like yesterday, 9-0. Let's take. I think we have 4 goose eggs now. I think we've shut out 4 teams now with 0 runs in the first 30 games. and that says a lot for our pitching staff and what they're capable of. Right, we've had some blown games and a number of blown saves, statistically speaking, blown saves. But so here we go. All right, this is what I want to do. I want to go through. I'm going to have our King Tuck moment, of course, to spotlight one player, but I want to go through a couple categories, baseball wide. All right, I want to go through a couple categories and tell you where some of our players rank. All right, I'm going to go through average, home runs, and OPS. Uh, for four stats that typically means runs are being generated. All right. That way, that slugging on base percentage, the average of getting a average batting average of hits, and then home runs obviously is automatic run or runs. And then we'll go over the Cubs team as a whole and kind of where we rank as a whole. All right. First category, average. My favorite one personally. I'm a big proponent of average, and I don't need all our players to hit bombs and home runs to score runs. I like runners on base. I like moving runners. I like hitting runners in. Um, More of old school, station to station baseball. But so batting averages, right? This is okay. So these are the qualify. All these categories are players who qualify. Um, for MLB stats, not necessarily. So I'll go through that in a second. So out of 164 qualifying players, 164 through three games, the Cubs have the Cubs have 5 of the top 42 batting averages. Those are Kyle Tucker, 298. Seiya Suzuki, 298. Kyle Tucker, 288. Nico Horner, 287. PCA, 284. And Michael Busch, also 284. So those guys are all teetering right under 300. We have top 5 hitters average wise. Excuse me. We have 5 in the top 42 of 164 players. So we have 5 people in the top 25%. That's that'd be fantastic if they can keep that up through this season. Um, I think it's expected, honestly, of Suzuki and Tucker and even Horner. He's 287 to float around that number. That'd be a good year for him, obviously. I kind of at the beginning of the year said if he's floating around 260, 270, um, and doing his normal moving runners, getting base hits in clutch situations, taking a high outside fastball to a right field for a base hit with a runner on second or third. Traditional Nico Horner. And Michael Busch is at 284. I think all 5 of those, excluding PCA. I think we're just figuring out who PCA is. Recently, in the last few weeks, PCA is one of the hottest players, not just hitters, but all players in all of baseball. And the batting average is showing that at 284 currently through 30 games, and that guy's going to be an all-star. I think and hope it's this year, and I think and hope the Cubs have There's going to be a lot of Wrigley Cubs blue on that all-star team. I believe they're wearing their traditional, going back to traditional, where they're going to wear their team's jerseys. But I love to see some Cubs jerseys out there, and quite a bit of them, and a lot of it because of the offense. So here we go. By the way, our catchers are Carson Kelly's batting 370, which would be one of the top in the interior league, but he only has 63 plate appearances, so he doesn't come up on the major list. Those 63 plate appearances don't qualify because Miguel Amaya has 65 plate appearances. He's at 233, but between the both of them, Carson Kelly's got 7 home runs. Amaya's got 2, and Carson Kelly's OPS is 1.415. Pretty much one of the best in all of the league. So, all right, so that's average. We have 5 of the top 42 in all of baseball. By the way, that's National and American League. So the same thing. OPS, all of baseball, American National League. We have 4 of the top 33. That's Kyle Tucker at a 9.65. He's seventh. Seiya Suzuki at a 9.65. He's eighth. Michael Busch a 9.19, 19th, and PCA coming up the charts at 8.68. He's 33rd. Again, that's at 164 qualified players, and we have four of the top almost in the top 25%. Top four, top 33 actually, so top more closer to the 20%. And then let's go to home runs where we're mashing. Same thing. We've got four out of three, four of our players out of 303 players have hit home runs. Okay, four of our players out of 303 that have hit home runs are in the top ish, 46 ish. So, but we'll go through that. Tucker's got seven. Carson Kelly's got seven. Seiya Suzuki's got seven, and PCA's got six. So we're in the top 46. 46. There's obviously a million-way tie for six, but 7, 7, 7, and 6 are in the top 46 players out of 303. And Michael Busch is right behind them with 5. So he hits a home run today against Pittsburgh, and he's right there with PCA in the top 46 players of home runs. So I'd say we're mashing as a team. We're hitting for average. We are on base percentage and slugging is there. We're mashing there, and then we're mashing for home runs as well. So all around, and we're getting production from all-star production from one of our catchers. But getting production from both of them realistically. They're really the only spot in our lineup has been Dansby Swanson, who really hasn't been producing, and maybe that third base. We're one of the only teams, I believe, in the National League with, or maybe all of baseball, with no home runs from their third baseman. We don't have a home run from that spot when somebody's played there. That's kind of an awkward stat for us, considering how much we've mashed. But I think what this shows is that the Cubs bats have been hot. Okay. And you hear the debate is this sustainable? Well, I mean, is everybody going to hit 300? No. The whole season, 162 games. No. Is everyone going to are those four players going to have a 900 OPS the entire season? Probably not. Are the home run trajectories going to stay the same? I mean, Tucker, Kelly, Suzuki, PCA, they might calm down a little bit. But here's what I do expect. And here's what I think we do expect. I think as a whole, in all those categories, we have 4 to 5 players in each one of those categories right now. I think at the end of the season, we fully expect to have 2 to 3 of those still closer to the top. Here's what I'm betting. Average, I'm willing to say we've got Suzuki, Tucker, and Horner still in the top 40-ish batting averages. All of them floating right around 290. Suzuki's right at around 300, 298. So that's Suzuki, Tucker, Horner in the averages. OPS, PCA's put on a show lately, but I'm expecting Tucker and Suzuki to stay up in the 900s in the OPS. Tucker's at 965, or at least high 800s. Suzuki's at 965. I expect them to be they're in the top 10. They're in the top 8 right now. They're 2 of the top 8 right now. I expect them to be in the top 15 at the end of the season. Busch and PCA are right behind them right now. But I think PCA's mashing is going to cool off just a little bit. We're going to see the versatility of his game. Trying to get on base, maybe slashing a single to left every now and then in positions where he's, got to move a runner, or not move a runner, excuse me, score down an account and still gotta take a little off just to move to get a base hit to score a run. Home runs, I think everybody knows that. Okay, so at the beginning of the season, if you'd have said Carson Kelly would have 7 home runs through 30 games, two things. One, I would have said Uh, he's having the best career and streak of his life, which he may be. Um, and then also he's playing every day. What happened to Amaya? So Carson Kelly only has 63 plate appearances. He took his and Amaya has 65, so he literally would have he literally would have 128 plate appearances if he took all of Amaya's. And I know that's not nowadays. Uh, Catchers don't necessarily play every game anymore. They have kind of a rotation, and right now, ours is pretty much evenly split. And I feel like Amaya had the edge going into the season, but with Kelly such hot of a bat, I imagine Council has tried to get him in there a few more times a week than expected, which is fantastic. Ride that hot hand, man. If he starts cooling off, Amaya's right there. He's no slack or slouch. So home runs. I don't expect Kelly to be in the top towards the end of the year, just because of sheer plate appearances and time. But Kyle Tucker and Suzuki, I feel like Suzuki might drop off a little bit, just home run wise. His OPS is going to be there, and his average will be there. But Kyle Tucker, I fully expect he's 20. What he's 21st right now in home runs. Well, he's tied with a bunch of people, but I feel like he should be in the top 20 in home runs still by the end of the season. He's our all-star, man. And his numbers, we'll go over some of his numbers individually in a second. But so next, so those are all the individual. We are just at the top, right? We are scoring runs. We'll go over those in a second. But hey, man, just take a break. We appreciate everybody who does listen. Please subscribe to the channel so we can and make some comments. What do you think about the Cubs' progress so far this season? What do you think about the offense and how they're producing? Do you think it's sustainable? I might be wrong. Maybe this is what we should expect for 162 games, but I think we're gonna tone down a little bit. But I kind of went through each category and who I expected to be there at the top, and all of us should. All the names we went through: Suzuki, Tucker, Horner, PCA, Busch. Um, those are maybe even Carson Kelly if he stays hot. Those are people who right now would be on a high vote all-star list, if not guaranteed all-star spots. So let's keep this. Hey guys, let's keep this up through July or June and the next 2 months, and let's flood that all-star game with Cubs. But so yeah, so if you've got some comments, please do share. Love to hear what you have to say as a Cubs fan. So Cubs as a whole, right? Cubs as a whole. So we are, as a team, one of the ba- uh, best teams in baseball, offensive teams in baseball, and um, here's why. Right? This is the first 30 games, obviously. Game one, number 31 is today, so hopefully we can keep this up. But as of today, 30 games in, the Cubs have. Here's what our offense has done in the top five-ish categories. Home runs. Team home runs, 42. That's fourth in all of MLB. Average. Our team batting average is 263. Third in all of MLB. Our on base percentage, 343. So over the third of the time, we're right over a third of the time, we are getting on base. That's second in baseball. Slugging percentage, 456 as a team. That's second in baseball, by the way. I believe the Yankees are above us in both those categories. And then runs scored, 181 in 30 games. That's number one. That's number one of all of baseball. We're scoring runs. And there's not too many games. There's a few games that we were kind of shut down as a team. And but we faced a number of aces, of a lot of numbers of staff aces, and we're still scoring runs. They got shut out against Pittsburgh yesterday, the first three innings, so first time through the lineup, and after that, see ball, hit ball. We started mashing. 9 runs later. And that wasn't because of any crazy mistakes by Pittsburgh. We put the ball in play, and we got big hits when runners were on. Four home runs will do it too. Flex those muscles a little bit. All right. So if you watch my channel, Cubs Ivy, you know that King Tuck is a big part of some of our reporting and updates. So let's go through the first 30 games for King Tuck. What I'm going to read off to you is the stat, or is the category, the stat, and then where he ranks in baseball for all players. All right, this is offensive only. We don't want to talk about his defense right now. He's down near the bottom, and he's made a few errors. I know he's a Gold Glove outfielder, so he needs the next, 132 games to work on that percentage and his comfort level at Wrigley. So you get a pass, Tuck, King Tuck, because I will tell you why. In the first 30 games, King Tuck has scored 26 runs, third in MLB. Hits 34, 10th in MLB. Doubles 8, also 10th. Triples 2, he's in third, I believe he's tied. Home runs 7, 9th, tied with a lot of people. RBIs 26, that's fourth. Walks 22, that's sixth. Stolen bases 8. Stolen bases, that's 5, he's fifth. And OPS at 965, fifth. You pay attention to that, the highest number, the highest ranking, or lowest, I guess, is 10th out of all those categories. He's not first in any of them, but holy crap, do we have an all-star on our hands. He is top 10 in all of those categories. Take away 2 of them, he's top 9, 8 in all those categories. King Tuck, we appreciate you. You're showing us what you're worth. All the trade we gave people and ammo we gave up, you are worth it. Now, Ricketts, Hoyer, Cubs, it's still early in the season. It's still too early to talk about his extension. There's so many factors that go into it. One of the biggest ones I feel that is being ignored and maybe not talked about is his family. He's going to make a 10-year commitment to a team after playing for a city for 30 games. And by the way, half those games, if not more, were away. So he's got to experience the city. He's got to experience the culture, the Cubs culture. He's got to experience Wrigley. He's got to experience the fans. He's got to experience what he might be his home for the next 10 years. So definitely 10 years. Sign him. Sign him. So King Tuck, take your time. However, Cubs, start the train in motion right now. Do your research. Do what you need to get him what he needs to feel comfortable. And when it comes time, make the offer. Don't make an insulting offer. Match the market value. One, you can afford it. Two, his name, signing a player like that and the season he's having right now, it's going to come back to you. The money's going to come back to you. Shoot, it may come back to you just in jersey sales. But Tucker's going to come back to you. You sign him tomorrow to a 10-year deal, I guarantee. I don't think the Cubs, as of March 2025, I don't think they had a top. If I read that correctly, they don't have a top jersey sale on the top 25 jerseys, which makes sense. Tucker's name should be shooting up that list. However, I'm wary of buying a Tucker jersey. What if he's only a rent a player? What if he's only here through one season? Not gonna spend 150 bucks or whatever on a replica jersey, Tucker jersey. He signs 10 years. I might. I will. And I'll convince 10 of my friends to buy one too. If you're listening, Ricketts. Um, so yeah, just when it comes time, Cubs, be fair. Know his value. We need a player like him. And I think that's perfectly clear. We have a formula. We've got players on contracts. So this year we expect playoffs. But so do we the next few years based off of what's coming through the pipeline and who we have in place now. So, King Tuck, we appreciate you. You're doing fantastic through the first 30 games. Keep up the great work. Expect you to see you in a Cubs jersey for the next 10 years. And and we just want you to make the Cubs and Wrigley your home. If you feel the same way, or if you feel different, let me know. Shoot me a comment, shoot me a message, and I think we're all on the same page with King Tuck so far. I don't think there's any Cubs fan who wouldn't want him a part of a team. But so that's it. We went through a lot of offensive numbers, and I am a numbers dude. Hopefully it made sense. Between average, OPS, home runs, Tucker stats. I really wanted to go over some of PCA today, but it's already into half an hour, and it's time to kind of cut this video off. But if anything, go Cubs. Those next 30 games are going to be huge. You know, I'm projecting kind of the same wins and losses. So basically double wins and double losses from that point. So 36 and 24 after 60 games. And hope I'm right. So go Cubs go. Brad Savage, Cubs Ivy. Like, subscribe, share, comment. Go Cubs go. Fly that W.